Money Watch this morning. It's a tough decision, and often we're not prepared for it, moving mom or dad into an independent or an assisted living facility. Joe Bert, the Oracle of Orlando, joining us now in studio. Joe, good morning to you.
Good morning, Andrea.
There was an interesting structure to all of this that I think a lot of people are not aware of.
Yes, and we know what assisted living is you can't necessarily take care of yourself, can't feed yourself, bathe yourself, clothe yourself, so on and so forth. But a lot of it starts with what we call independent living, and this is where mom might be by herself, and she's got the big house, and she realizes, or the kids realize, that she shouldn't be living by herself. She's in good health, so they moved into what's called an independent living facility. It's kind of an apartment, you know. She's got things taken care of for her. She's watched. They go on social things, and that's kind of a nice thing for the elderly, for the folks, whatever age they might be, in the 70s or 80s. Then what happens is the health deteriorates, and then maybe you move into what's called assisted living, maybe in the same facility, where now somebody's going to give you your medication, maybe be sure that you're eating properly, so on and so forth. That's the next level. What happens is some of these facilities don't have the next level of care, which oftentimes is what we call memory care. And so if they determine that you now have dementia and you are a risk to yourself and a risk to the rest of the people that you're living with, they'll throw you out.
So they
will tell you not to come back.
So you need to be prepared to either look for a facility that offers all three, possibly?
Exactly. Well, then from memory care, if you don't have dementia, then perhaps you need skilled nursing care, you know, where you have the rehab and so on and so forth. So if you're going to move into one of these facilities, recognize that this is where you're going to live the rest of your life, and these facilities should have the next level of care if you move into that, because they have in their fine print tell you if you have dementia, you're out on the street. I had a situation just recently with a very close friend of mine whose mother had dementia almost overnight. She was living in an assisted living facility. She was in the hospital. They called her, my friend, and said, "Don't bring your mother back." And now she's in a panic. She has to find a place to take her mother from the hospital into a memory care facility and go through all the aggravation of moving her. It was a disaster.
And how far along are you investing in these payments? Are they month-to-month type payments? Well, are they a lease?
Oftentimes you have these situations where you can buy in. You know, you pay $100,000, sometimes more than that, and you buy a place to live for the rest of your life, and then you're going to pay a monthly fee. The real risk here is, or not the risk, but what you have to be careful of is that the financial condition of these companies is stable. There is a case in Tampa right now, one of these well-known tower situations where people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to move in, filed bankruptcy. And now they've closed down the dining halls, when the elevators don't work, and you've invested in this, you expect to stay the rest of your life, and now you have a financial disaster on your hand. So if you're going to move in, pay that big amount of money, get the financial statements, give it to your CPA, and have him or her go through it with a fine-tooth comb to be sure that they're on solid footing for the next 5, 10, 15 years, as best as you can project it.
So many details in long-term care planning.
And you know, the problem is, Andrea, we don't deal with this day in and day out. Sure. And you deal with it sometimes the most critical times. You make decisions that you think are the best, you don't know the facts. Well, I've seen it in my own practice with my clients and with family members. It can be a nightmare out there if you're not prepared.
My goodness. Well, good advice, Joe. Where can people find you?
Once again, just Google me, 2 words, Joe Bert, B-E-R-T.
All right, Joe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrea.